Hello, friends. I'm Chandan Kumar Mishra. I'm pleased to participate in this interactive teaching learning process as excellencies expresses their concerns and perspectives on various factors and parameters for social development and ensuring peaceful, progressive co-inhabitation of the inhabitants on this planet Earth. United Nations multilateral and bilateral forums assures opportunities and avenues of information access and analysis so that intellectuals could share their cultivated perspectives for the sake of the welfare of the global humanitarian society. I would like to continue onwards as the recent historic White House Roundtable meeting was organized and peaceful solutions of the international disputes were discussed. Panama Presidency of the United Nations Security Council is also considering the global reported concerns on day-to-day basis as Stephen Dujarric briefs the media during their day-to-day United Nations media briefing. I would like to continue onwards that UK Prime Minister focused on ensuring continuity of communication for trust building and commencement of developmental agreements. He had advocated for security guarantees. Then President Donald Trump of United States of America paid vote of thanks towards the panel members discussing global peace, progressive partnership, and humanitarian services delivery to the victims, vulnerables, and general population. Then I have reviewed the World Health Organization broadcast on 2024 emergencies and humanitarian services. And gist of the shared messages are as follows. Like disasters happens, it is uncertain, but passage with related consequences. Relief, rescue, healthcare, and rehabilitation continues to serve the affected community onwards as usually in passage of time. Post-traumatic stress disorders related healing counseling and health care services follows onwards with supply of essential life-saving humanitarian services. Pandemic response were shout on emergency basis, but the confusion of understanding of the order of command might have caused violent clash during the drastic phase of pandemic. It was Mahamari in Hindi. Pandemic means epidemic, the kind of disease which are communicable in nature and spread to the masses. But people might have considered it differently that we have to serve our community, protect our community from this pandemic kind of microcosm, the virus. But people might have thought it differently. That's why clashes appear on several fronts of border also. But as per the common understanding, working as warfare level. 4. Emergency relief does not mean war at all. किसी आपदा प्रबंधन के लिए युद्ध स्तर पर काम करने का तात्पर्य कभी भी युद्ध नहीं होता है. It means what we can say dedicated delivery of services, humanitarian services to the affected population. As again for now. Although habitability of disasters are uncertain, but humanitarian relief delivery activities always follows with certainty after every disaster and continues for revival, rehabilitation, and resumption of the normal survival by livings affected from those disasters. Stress management services are also offered with World Health Organizations and other international and local organizations. United Nations is celebrating 20th August 2025 as World Humanitarian Day 2025 as reported by Honorable Secretary General Antonio Guterres. Then joint press conference by Panama UNSC President for August 2025 expressed shared commitment on climate, peace, security and humanitarian services. The review of United Nations General Assembly 79 session onwards continued. Tanzania Kasim Majaliwa Majaliwa PM Tanzania had mentioned about consolidated efforts for all inclusive peaceful progress partnership is required. pandemic, poverty, and climate change related challenges should be resolved, and collective efforts for sustainable development is requested. A strategic investment in agriculture, livestock management, fisheries, and food processing would improve food security. Biometric identification should be currently completed to protect the interest of every individual in digital economy related financial transactions. Unrestricted access to humanitarian aid should be assured for all. Peace and security should be assured unconditionally. Art, language, culture, and civilization should be conserved for all. Tanzania is vulnerable to drought, flood, deforestation, and sea level rise related problems, thus advocated for climate finance. But all member nations should remain vigilant and respond appropriately and promptly for disaster relief delivery to the inhabiting population. Access to clean energy, food security, availability, and access to healthcare services and livelihood opportunities should be assured. Democratic cooperation could solve the problem of global humanitarian society among member nations. Effective political process assures justice enforcement. Victims and vulnerable should be saved and empowered to manifest the liberty and privilege of their natural and fundamental rights. Then Papua New Guinea, James Murphy, PM 279 UNG had mentioned that climate change related disaster risk management is required. Peaceful settlement of geopolitical disputes are also required. Socio-economic security for poverty-affected populations should be assured. Ecological conservations should be considered. Sustainable financing for development. Promotion of activities for conservation of life on land, sea, and forest. Then conservation and promotion of the uniqueness and diversity of the culture and civilization should be adored. Alignment of the National Developmental Agenda with United Nations Charter, treaties and frameworks should be assured. Achieving progress on various indicators of Human Development Index are required. Promotion of culture of unity, of existence of the devotees of various faith and religion assures peace and harmony into the society. Protection of the freedom of thoughts and expressions, and promotion of activities for protection of human rights are required. Papua New Guinea had expressed commitment to help fellow peoples to overcome survival related challenges and improve ease of living. Then sense of gratitude is exhibited towards the developmental partners. Sovereignty of all member nations should be respected, and geopolitical disputes should be resolved through peaceful agreement to resolve various factors of disputes promptly. Appeal to respect United Nations Charter. Collective efforts are requested to save our common planet Earth. Then exhibits scientific foresight for developmental research on ecospace and planet Earth. As far as the reports from India is concerned, we have recently completed the Senate session, the sessions of Parliament of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha, with our commitment to assure intended national demand contribution to achieve Sustainable Development Goal 2030, with a special emphasis on health, education, sanitation, energy conservation and sustainable use, security, secure transportation, human labor management, human resource management, disaster relief, prompt implementation of all government schemes and activities, inclusive and sustainable development oriented activities, यानी कि स्वच्छता, स्वास्थ्य, ऊर्जा संरक्षण व सतत प्रयोग, सुरक्षा, सुरक्षित परिवहन, मानव श्रम प्रबंधन, आपदा राहत, सभी सरकारी योजनाओं का सुचारू क्रियान्वयन, समावेशी व सतत विकास, सामाजिक न्याय व अधिकारिता मिले, ऐसा हमने घोषणा किया that we will assure what social security and empowerment of peoples, sector wide approach for strengthening humanitarian services delivery. धन तकनीकी शिक्षा, कौशल विकास, अवसंरचना विकास, सामाजिक सुरक्षा योजना लाभ, उद्यमिता विकास, महिला सशक्तिकरण, कृषि, पशुपालन, खाद्य सुरक्षा वर ऑल्सो डिस्कस्ड. एंड वंचित वर्ग, आपदा पीड़ित, जोखिमग्रस्त और किसी प्रकार के सामाजिक आर्थिक दबाव तनाव से पीड़ित व्यक्ति के लिए तनाव प्रबंधन, आपदा से बचाव, राहत, पुनर्वास और पुनरुत्थान हेतु सतत तौर से सामाजिक आर्थिक न्याय न्यायिक, राजनैतिक और बौद्धिक उत्थान, प्रशिक्षण व पुनर्वास सेवाओं को प्रदान किया जाना चाहिए. We had also discussed about promotion of research and development for health, education and labor management so that we can assure security of life to the 8 Arab people of the global humanitarian society. Then I would like to continue onwards that I had broadcasted several broadcasts of United Nations onwards continuously, and Excellencies shares their perspectives in their respective presentation. I would like to mention about IMF broadcast review recently on strength, weakness, opportunity and threat pattern of World Economic Forum 2025, like bonds, nature, digital payments, innovations, and its impact on financial inclusion and economic growth were developed, discussed. Experts cited that intergovernmental coordination should be improved and technology-based solutions should be regulated with human intelligence to resolve the conflicts of interest related with digital and physical settlements of remittance related disputes, tax deduction and appropriation of the identity establishment of the beneficiary, working on digital interface for protection of fundamental humanitarian and economic rights of the person. Then World Economic Forum panel discussion had mentioned that uncertainties of climate change related disaster risk reduction and management are required. Emergency assistance relief funds for pandemic or epidemic and other kinds of public health emergencies are required. Health and relief fund grant for humanitarian crisis should be considered as welfare financial grants with special regulatory measures consideration and dealt specifically and differently than profit oriented financial investments. Charity always supersedes profitable investments. A special waiver package of the fiscal deficit and loan enables welfare governance. It is also helpful to manage public debt related problems. Then IMF Analytical Corner mentioned that population aging related challenges of labor force participation in demographically dependent population related economic challenges are managed by effective human resource management. This may include retirement benefits to the old age retiring professionals, research and development based advisory services by experts on payment, new recruitment, training and development of the working workforces. Onwards, in a panel discussion of governors of IMF YouTube channel, policy rates regulation driven liquidity management was suggested as an effective means to supply fluctuating needs of currency due to the certain disasters related uncertainties and emerging developmental demands. Negotiations in international trade for tariff and supply of essential goods and services as per the domestic demands of a member nations helps to assure employment generation oriented profitable FPIs, foreign portfolio investment, and FDIs, foreign direct investment, in globalized and liberalized developmental economics nowadays. MIGA, multilateral investment guarantee agreements, arrangements, considers interest of all stakeholders and ambitious investors of any multilateral investment ventures. MIGA, Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency of World Bank Group, assures regulation of profit sharing and investment management to strengthen international economic cooperation. MIGA assures socio-economic and legal feasibility of multilateral investment ventures by public and private sector. Multilateral Investment Guarantee Agency of World Bank Group is celebrating its 37th assembly. MIGA supports climate change solution and sustainable development oriented investment projects globally. MIGA also finances startups and avails subsidies also. MIGA supports for regulation of contracts and enables processing of remittance receipt. MIGA provides insurance and immunity to the multilateral investment ventures for political turmoil, settlements, and uncertainties related risk management. MIGA assures insurance and compensation to the economic ventures affected from war and or civilian insurgencies. Then he foresee campings aims to resolve gender disparity barriers and encourage women to own self-resilient, empowered and leadership position in various domains of socio-economic, political and scientific sectors with decent respect of modesty and cooperative companion. Watched a speech by Amy Watson, British actress, about he for she camping. Then Prime Minister of India Narendra Modi is visiting India. He had launched several developmental projects. PM adores the glorious heritage, culture, and ritual traditions of peaceful coexistence as preached by Lord Buddha in Gaya. He launched several housing, energy, employment, healthcare, electricity, power, road projects, and he had recently visited China and Japan also. PMOD aims to improve the ease of living for fellow pupils by grant of essential survival supporting utilities and services. People are being included in mainstream of development. Houses with clean water, sanitation, electricity, and cooking gas supply were awarded to the thousands of people. People are being enrolled for PM housing schemes. He expressed a strong commitment of the Government of India to assure secured living, environmental and access to social security and empowerment schemes of the Government of India for all required beneficiaries. Oncological research and healthcare centers were was inaugurated. Central government Central government promises continued support for holistic development of Bihar. PM Modi expressed empathetic compassion and caring sentiments towards the fellow peoples to assure delivery of survival supporting humanitarian services. PM emphasized that newly launched projects for power production in Bihar will support employment generation and other developmental establishments installations in Bihar. The NDA government aims to speedy implementation of conceived developmental projects with protection of the stake of the investors and concerned stakeholders. Development of new roads, pools, and other transportation routes would improve the accessibilities and availabilities of outreach to the markets and specialized healthcare, educational, economic, and public administration services to the people. Transparent, developmental oriented, and responsive governance aims to assure corruption free government services for public welfare. Government aims to assure obedience of the constitutional provisions for directive principles of the state policy and protection of the rights as provided by the Indian Constitution and UN Charter. Government aims to control criminalization of politics and direct politicians for their moral, spiritual, and ethical upliftment. Rule and order of the legal, political governance and administration would be assured in Indian welfare democracy. Political accountability would be assured. The Assembly ambitiously expressed progressive continuity of the cooperation of the central government to the Bihar and other state governments amid forthcoming elections. Remarks: political representation assured strong commitment for holistic development of the fellow peoples and consolidation of the dedicated service delivery to the people in supportive technical and financial partnership between state government and central government. After all, welfare democracy is meant to be governed by the people, for the people, and of the people, for our mutual welfare. The reviewed broadcast of my presentation on Rigveda and other things, wrote, recorded, and uploaded presentations on various aspects to achieve sustainable development goals. And I was watching UN broadcast on continuous basis. I have reported and uploaded my presentation on UN SDG 2030 for no poverty, zero hunger, healthy well-being, and sustainable education at Chandan My Vidya YouTube channel after Saraswati Pratna. Watched United Nations media brief by Stephen Dezuric, Sunset TV on Indian Institute of Management role for education and national development. Then UN on peaceful progressive development by UNSC recently, and watched a presentation by Vice President of USA in Munich Security Conference 2025. I would like to present my logic as follows. Since recent UN Security Council brief, UN media briefs, and other international media agencies and reports of the government notifies about day-to-day international affairs, diplomatic multilateral forums, interfaces are usually recommended to assure promption of acknowledgement and endorsed consideration for discussion to cultivate solution to the reported problem or demand by multi-stakeholders engagement. For technical and financial analysis and resource allocation for offering humanitarian services delivery to the victims, dependents of victims, vulnerable community, and general population of the requested and reported regions, so that peaceful and progressive program of action could be formulated, framed, drafted, evaluated, financed, and implemented with concurrent monitoring, evaluation, and supportive supervision for various sectors of humanitarian services. So, friends, I wish you all the best for your continuous support and services for upliftment of our global humanitarian society in consultation of our efforts in solidarity. So we should manage our stress also and contribute for our development so that we can protect the future of our common planet Earth altogether. Best wishes. I will join again with new presentations and learning remarks. Om Namah Shivaya. Har Har Mahadev. Shri Ganesaya Namah. You can analyze my presentation and follow on and present your own cultivated perspectives at respective forum of representation. Thank you.